Hello folks, I'm actually going to be reviewing some fairly new releases tonight. I found some time over the past weekend to check out Ghost Rider Spirit of Vengeance and then the found footage film Chronicle. Coming up is my review of both. Welcome to Movies We Love, Movies We Hate. For those of you who are new to the show, I'll usually talk about one movie I really love and then one movie I absolutely despise. However, I actually enjoyed both of tonight's films. That's right folks, I actually got a kick out of the latest Nick Cage movie, Ghost Rider 2. With no further ado, let's begin. Okay, so we're actually going to be changing things up a bit by starting with the not as good of a film first. And I don't think many of you will be surprised to hear that Ghost Rider was the weaker of the two. Alright, so going into this one, I pretty much knew that I wasn't going to be experiencing anything special. A couple of reviewers already bashed it to bits, claiming it could very well be the worst movie of 2012. Listening to all the negative feedback on the film almost made me skip out on it altogether, but then I went and I checked out what Jill Kill had to say about it, and she actually enjoyed it. Anyways, if you haven't heard of Jill Kill, she's beautiful, and I love her taste in movies. You should check out her channel. So yeah, she's actually the person who convinced me to give this one a shot. Subsequent to my afternoon college courses, I hit up the neighborhood cinema to see Ghost Rider Spirit of Vengeance in 3D. I went in with the right mindset and had a great time with it. Quite simply, you just can't go into this one expecting to receive another Iron Man or Dark Knight. I mean, come on. Whenever is a sequel to an already bad movie good? Let's talk about what was pleasing in this film. Visually, the film is beautiful. Filmmakers Mark Neveldine and Brian Taylor of the Crank Films and Gamer stepped in to direct this sequel, and they certainly brought all their creative tactics to the table. Their signature hyperkinetic editing helped to keep many of the scenes from ever dragging on too long. I love the style that these guys incorporate into all their films. I'm thinking this particular style isn't for everyone, but it certainly worked for me. Also, the special effects in this film were light years above the god-awful effects of the first Ghost Rider installment. I loved the whole look of the charred leather outfit. Also, the skull itself looked more evil and black from the burning flames. There were scenes in this film, particularly the final car chase sequence, where the Ghost Rider's riding the flaming bike around in broad daylight, and it's truly badass. We finally get to see the Ghost Rider in crystal clear awesomeness. What else worked in this movie? Not much else. Yeah, those transformation scenes where Nicolas Cage is turning into the Ghost Rider were poorly executed. I couldn't really tell if the filmmakers were trying to make those scenes cool or comedic. They kinda just came off as awkward more than anything else. The Rider's coming, man! He's gonna be here any minute! I'm gonna turn into the Rider, and when I do, you're gonna be sorry! Like I said, awkward. There's a few fun performances from some great surrounding actors. You've got a great Satan. There's a cool henchman doing his best Kurt Russell impression. There's a beautiful gypsy chick. Even Nick Cage, who's mastered the art of letting fans down, is pretty fun to watch in this. And what's even better, he looks like he's having a good time doing it. I say see this film. If not for anything else, see it for the final daytime car chase sequence. That scene's fucking awesome. And I'd buy this movie on Blu-ray just for that part. Ghost Rider Spirit of Vengeance, I'll give you 2 stars. You weren't toxic waste and you kept me entertained, and that's what counts. Whereas Ghost Rider 1 was nearly unwatchable, this one was actually quite fun. And if you want to have even more fun while watching the film, see it high. On to the good movie, since we already talked about an okay movie. Don't you wish you could just have superpowers every now and then? I know I do. So Chronicle opens up with a dorky and somewhat troubled teen. He's got a beautiful name though. Andrew! Let me remind you, this is one of those found footage films, much like Cloverfield and the Blair Witch Project before it. I'm gonna go ahead and say it's my most favorite found footage film yet. So like I said, Andrew's pretty troubled. He's bullied at his high school, his mother's suffering from a terminal illness, and on top of all that, he's got an abusive alcoholic father. Talk about rough, man. Anyways, one night, while at a party deep in the woods, Andrew, his cousin, and the popular celebrity of the high school come across a massive hole in the earth. Because they're so curious, the three boys enter this random hole in the earth and discover something that looks as if it came from the planet Krypton. Long story short, they exit the hole with superpowers. Well, I shouldn't say superpowers plural, because it's basically just telekinesis, the ability to move objects with your mind. The movie really makes you realize just how much one could do with just telekinesis. All these guys would have to do is just imagine an invisible barrier around their body, and then boom! Nothing could ever harm them. Also, eventually they learn how to fly with it. And it is awesome! Some of the best dreams I've ever had are those flying dreams. Seeing these three boys figure all this stuff out was just so much fun because they were just ordinary people with ordinary pasts. I could relate to every single one of their characters. I'd be doing everything they were doing. Now, if you've seen the trailer...
What the hell is this guy's problem?
Are you crazy? Why did you do that? What the hell is wrong with...
You all know that the Andrew character is gonna start turning for the worse. It's sad and hard to witness his character evolve into a vengeful threat, but at the same time, you kinda understand why he's heading down this path. As I've said before, he was living a fucked up life. It was only a matter of time before he started using his powers for bad. Just look at that face. That's the spitting image of evil. Now, between you and me, let's just say that I wouldn't necessarily be using this shit for good. Hey, you kid.
Oh, hey.
Give me all your money.
No. No, what the...
It's a lot of money. I loved the Andrew character. He was so believable. Take a look at this clip. Look again. Now that's a movie I'd see. Chronicle, I give you 3.5 stars out of 5. There were a lot of scenes where it was just like, now why the hell would they be filming this particular shit? But hey, without the footage, no badass movie for us. I feel like if I directed the project, I'd make it like an equal combination of found footage and then regular filming, much like the way District 9 was shot. But hey, then again, maybe it'd be less believable that way. Who knows? Who cares? Long live film. God bless movies. I'm Andrew Forslove. This has been Movies We Love, Movies We Hate. Ghost Rider Spirit of Vengeance is still playing in theaters, so if you're maybe trying to catch John Carter or something and by chance it's sold out, Ghost Rider is still a fun ride and makes for a great second choice. Oh, and in the coming months, do look for Chronicle on DVD and Blu-ray. It's definitely worth the money. And if you want to get the fullest amount of joy out of both Chronicle and Ghost Rider, watch them high. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And kids, don't smoke weed. Unless of course you've got your green card, which of course, I do not. Hence the fact that this is not a real joint.